So, day number 1,000 probably at this stage of the Caitlin Clark haters not understanding basketball. So, basically, this play happened during the game. Paige Bueckers was being full denied and then iced by Sophie Cunningham. And so Sophie did a really good job on Paige to make sure she didn't get her back door. And then Sophie iced the screen. Myisha Hines-Allen does not react. And Sophie is pointing to Myisha Hines-Allen where to go. And Paige Bueckers gets a wide out mid-range shot because it's Kelsey Mitchell coming over on weak side help. And looking at the responses, we have this here. Sophie pointing the way to score against her own team. And that's by the way, this is what everybody keeps saying. And this happened to Caitlin Clark as well, by the way. Kelsey's the worst for it. Kelsey Mitchell is the worst for it. But this is literally what happens with the Indiana Fever. That it's the reason why they no longer run. They no longer run their defense the way you think they would. So basically, this is what is holding ice. So you've got Paige here, ball here in Maddie Seeger's hand. Sophie Cunningham is guarding Paige, and Myisha Hines-Allen is guarding Seeger. So ball goes to Paige. Sophie Cunningham goes to here, and then ends up in a position where she's trying to force Paige this way. In that scenario here, you ice the screen so the Paige can't come off the screen from Seegers. Even though it was a pass from Seegers, she can't even come off the handoff and get into this position here. So you're forcing her this way. What this player is meant to do is get to here. So they're supposed to be here. Sorry. They're supposed to be here. They're supposed to match them. And then what ends up happening a lot of the time is this player recovers and they come out, or it's a full switch. Or if you can't, Sophie Cunningham just goes and guards Seegers on the pop. If Seegers stands, a full switch. But that's literally an ice. And there's a reason why the Fever stopped running ice. Because do we not remember what happened earlier on in the year? So there was a Caitlin Clark Ty Harris screen. So Caitlin was guarding. There was a interchange between Caitlin Clark and Ty Harris. So it's Caitlin and Ty. There was the interchange there. And instead of what you normally do in that scenario is just guard to guard switch off. But Caitlin decided while this interchange was happening, she was going to cut off and end up in this position here to ice the defender so that they have to go. So in that scenario there, Ty Harris is supposed to drop and you probably go and switch because it's guard to guard. But instead what happened was Caitlin Clark gave up a wide open layup. And what did Stephanie White do? She lost her shit at Caitlin Clark. I have videos about that. It's when Stephanie White walks off the floor, or when Caitlin Clark walks off the floor, and Caitlin and her starts to scream at each other. This happened in June. And this was not the Portland Fire one. This was another one where it's like, this was where I'm like, oh my god, this is getting bad. This is getting real bad. Because I can't even remember what game this happened in, but it happened in the month of June anyway. I need to find it here. It was when Stephanie White grabbed Caitlin against Seattle, I think. Was off a miscommunication like this. And this team is really bad at icing. They are so bad at icing. Like, even you've got Doug Gottlieb. Woke up to Twitter trying to have me down the ball. So if he's expecting the ice ball screens and handoff to become just that. Yeah. And it's literally what it is. It is, the Indiana Fever are really, really bad at it. I mean it. They are really, really bad at it. So if you haven't seen, I made a video here not too long ago. It's like Caitlin Clark snapping on the bench. Caitlin Clark is snapping on the bench. And I'll show you what happened in that scenario. And it's, I think the Fever are really, really bad at is me explaining an ice. Whereas it's here. Watch what Caitlin Clark does in this scenario. She's expecting Ty Harris to ice this screen, and Ty Harris goes and switches. I just realized how small this is. Let's go full screen on this. Second. There we go. You see what's happened here? Ty's expected to switch. Caitlin's trying to ice. Caitlin's trying to ice and push her away. And what ends up happening is Ty steps up on that for no reason at all. Ty steps up and Caitlin gets caught. So like, that's something that happens. That's something that happens in ball. And it is mad how many people just don't get ball. Someone said, where's the switch? What do you mean, where's the switch? Like, do people not understand what the point of icing is? And the answer to that question is yes. People do not understand the point of icing. People don't understand really what the Fever are going for, different defensive looks. And it reminds me of like people thinking that the best way to play defense is stop your man. Just go and stop your man. That's not how you play defense. These players are too good to do that. And the problem is with Paige, if you're going to ice her, MHA's got to be there as Sophie's pointing. But like, people just don't get it. Well, you sure you've no idea about the way she was pointing behind down the switch. It wasn't even a switch, it was an ice. MHA definitely screwed up her assignment, but it's easier to use Sophie for clicks. Two things can be true. She made a mistake on the play. She's still right about everything. What? Sophie Cunningham made a mistake. The only way this isn't a mistake is if they're told not to ice Paige. If they're told not to ice Paige, then yes, it's a mistake. But yeah, it's a mad thing because now we're at the stage where these situations are becoming big issues. They shouldn't be big issues, but they're becoming big issues. Because on social media, people like to, clown on Fever players. And I'm like, it's one of those things where I've played for coaches like this. And this is the annoying thing it feels like with Brie January, because she's the one who keeps going at players when they mess up in this. It's like, if you stick to the game plan doesn't work a lot, it's not your fault. Like, I've had coaches that are like, okay, you're in full help, and you're guarding a non-shooter. Your job is to kind of pinch in. If they hit a shot, they hit a shot. And then they suddenly hit 2 threes in a row, and it's, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you leaving them open? It's like, man, you fucking told me. That was our game plan. You can adjust a game plan, but you can't retroactively adjust a game plan by telling the person you're adjusting a game plan. But yeah, look, it is one of these hilarious things again. But Caitlin Clark haters knowing nothing about basketball is a very, very common occurrence. But anyway, I will see you guys later.